I love this job, Roger. I love the power. I love the little badges. I love being a human target for anyone within sniping range of a donut shop. Sorry to interrupt your arrest now, but we'd like to speak with the management of this facility. Tampons, hemorrhoid cream, stuffer crabs. Hello.
Hi. Right this way, gentlemen.
This is SchlockFest! I'm Ray McGuff.
And I'm Jean-Paul Mantilla. You missed us, didn't you?
We're
now
back.
You can see our faces.
We are back in black, as the kids say. Back in black.
Back in black, as they say.
As they say.
So, this month's entry for me to torture Randy is the 1988 classic Dead Heat. Have you seen this movie?
I have never even heard of this movie.
You've never heard of this movie? I can honestly tell you the only reason why I know this movie is because my older brother loved the comedian Joe Piscapo. Look him up. He was on SNL. Funny, weird dude.
He was really funny on SNL, and then he got on steroids and drugs and cocaine.
And this is the height of his career on steroids and cocaine. So, let me give you a little facts about this movie.
What's the facts, Jax?
Okay, it's directed by Mark Goldblatt.
Old Mark Goldblatt.
Yeah, Goldblatt. I mean, maybe it's a Jewish name. I don't know. I'm being rude. All right, so budget, $5 million. So it's got a decent budget.
Yeah.
Especially for 1988.
That's a really good budget.
All right, how much do you think it made?
Less than that.
Well, of course less than that. We're watching it on SchlockFest.
$100,000.
Come on. It at least made $3,588,000. Yeah, it's an estimate. But
okay.
Let's say 3.5 mil.
Well, that can't all be movie ticket opening night receipts.
Not opening night, but
even
overall.
its whole run, like that's got to be Blockbuster Video, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Kids, Blockbuster Video was a video rental chain, much like Netflix, only instead of streaming it from your couch, you'd have to go, get in your car, drive to the store.
I want this tape.
Pick them out. Yeah, so also on a VHS tape.
VHS.
Google that in case you want to know more.
All right, so Rotten Tomato score. Guess.
45%.
Man, I should slap you in the face. I give you quality in these movies. This got a whopping 11%.
Oh.
11.
So it's 7% less than the new Hellboy movie.
Yes.
That pile of shit.
So this is better than Hellboy.
Yeah. Well, no, it's.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, you're right. Hellboy's a little better.
Yeah, a little bit. Well,
a little.
Tomato score wise.
Tomatoes, yes. So it's definitely rotten.
Yeah.
Came out on May 6th.
Of 1988?
Of 1988.
Okay.
So, let me give you fun facts, and I'll let you read the synopsis to the wonderful fans.
All right.
All right. So, this wonderful director of this movie, if you can't believe it, but I know you can, because I'm giving you this fact, he won an Academy Award.
Shut your mouth.
He won an Academy Award for Best Editing in the wonderful 1992 classic, and it is a classic, Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
Yeah, Terminator 2 is a great movie.
And it's a great movie.
And if I had to give an award out for editing, I would give it to that.
Yeah, so. Considering how many cuts of this movie exist.
I mean, I've seen 7, I think. On
yeah, at least.
Yeah.
So this guy edited at least one of them.
Yeah.
Let's say the theatrical. It's still really good.
Probably theatrical version.
Probably. Okay, what else did he? This guy also directed, most recently, your new favorite movie, Death Wish, the remake.
That's
with
right. Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis is a doctor, and he's sworn an oath to do no harm, and that's until somebody kills his fucking wife and fucks his daughter up.
And then he does
harm. And then he does harm.
Maybe we should do it on a future SchlockFest.
He does all the harm.
Maybe we should do it on a future SchlockFest.
I actually love that movie, so...
I don't know why you do. It's a terrible movie.
It's fantastic.
Charles Bronson did a better version of it.
Charles Bronson?
Bronson, that's his name.
Charles Braunschweiger.
Yeah. So he also edited another movie that I know you enjoy, Chappie.
I do like Chappie.
Most people don't, but you and I, we like the Chappie.
We're in the minority on that.
Yeah.
You know my favorite line in Chappie?
What is it? What's your favorite line in Chappie?
He's going to sleep. Go to sleep.
Go to sleep. There you go.
Chappie.
He also edited kids classics like Percy Jackson and The Sea of Monsters.
Oh, I saw that. Didn't care much.
Never saw it, so...
the second one, the first one was good. The Lightning Thief I liked.
Yeah. He also edited another favorite of you and I's.
Okay.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a great one. So this guy is a good editor.
It sounds like
not a great director.
I was going to say, it sounds like he found his calling in editing later.
Yeah. Directed also another good classic, Nightbreed. Edited Nightbreed.
Okay.
Not directed. Edited.
Well, let's also say too, on that, you and I both know from being in a Clive Barker horror convention panel that Clive Barker's never been happy with any of the cuts.
He hated the cuts.
Yeah, so
that's
not really a claim to
fame. So Mark, it's your fault, Goldblatt.
Yeah, Goldblatt.
Goldblatt. He also did Halloween 2. Which isn't terrible.
Isn't a terrible movie. I know a lot of people are just kind of like on the fence on it. I like it.
Yeah, it's a good sequel.
Yeah.
All right. He also did Rambo: First Blood Part 2, the best Rambo movie in my opinion.
I actually really like the first one, but if I had to watch one Rambo movie before
Rambo 2,
I'd pick Rambo.
Rambo 2 is like the second Godfather films.
Coming for you.
It's the better movie. Just saying. Godfather 2, better. Rambo 2, better.
I like Godfather 1 better.
Empire Strikes Back, better. See, sometimes sequels are better than the original.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Ooh, yeah, there you go.
Better than Rise, and Rise was good.
And Rise was good. Okay.
All right.
So he also did, in the same year he did First Blood, he did Commando.
Ooh.
Another good movie. That means
Bennett. That off some steam.
He's edited for Arnie and Sylvester and Sly, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And to his fame, he edited 2 amazing movies that, yes, we will be doing on SchlockFest sometime, because I want to torture you with this movie and the other movie. First one, the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh.
Yeah, Bob Hoskins.
The last time I saw that
Leguizamo.
I saw it in the theater and was disappointed as a kid.
Both playing plumbers, and they're Italian.
And then later, I watched it again when I was in my late teens, early 20s, and it was as bad, if not worse, the second time around.
So when we do it on SchlockFest, it's going to be 3 times as bad.
Now I'm almost 40, so let's see what that.
Let's see what that view does. Yeah. And then he did not win an Academy Award for this movie, but did probably win a Razzie because it did win the worst picture of the year, Showgirls.
Ooh, I really like Showgirls.
Yeah.
And that's a double entendre, as they say.
As I say.
I like the movie Showgirls, and I also like regular Showgirls.
Oh, look at that, regular Showgirls.
Girls that dance for money.
Yeah. So this guy's a wizard when it comes to editing. Now, he only edited directed one other movie than this movie that we're currently watching.
Okay.
And it was 1989's The Punisher with Dolph Lundgren.
Fuck, I like that movie.
That is a great movie, children.
Yeah.
Look it up. It's the Frank Castle you never knew or wanted.
Yeah. You'll watch that, and you watch that Punisher movie, and then go watch the Thomas Jane one, and you'll be like, wow, they really did a good job with the Thomas Jane one.
Right.
You'll just be like indifferent to this one.
And then you'll go on Netflix and go, wow, that is really the best Punisher ever.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for castling Netflix. All right.
Yeah, good job, Netflix, you fuckers.
We love you, Disney. We love you, Disney Overlord.
But let me read the synopsis then.
I will in 1 second. I will tell you.
Jesus, how much more you got?
I got one last one.
Fucking talk
because
all day.
we're talking about editing. This movie,
let's edit this out,
had to go through several edits because its first cut got an X rating. That's right, boys and girls. It got an X rating. And not for boobies and swearing. It got an X rating for violence and gore.
They were really weird about gore in the 80s. If you remember,
very much.
Like movies that I end up loving, like
RoboCop.
RoboCop, yeah, they had to fucking do that, like edits on that. Dawn of the Dead, the original Romero, remember?
Evil Dead 2.
Evil Dead 2. People were banned it in some places.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't even get to watch it till I was like a teenager.
So yeah,
they were weird as fuck in the 80s. They'll show you tits all day long. They'll show you guys slonging it, jamming a chick from behind. But the minute that a zombie bites somebody's face, people freak
freaks the fuck out. That's right. So I'm gonna let you read the wonderful plot synopsis that I got from the internet.
Again, this movie is Dead Heat, starring Joe Piscapo and Treat Williams.
Treat Williams. He was an action star of his own right.
We'll talk about him on a later date.
Yes.
There's more. He's got some SchlockFest.
He's got great movies.
All right. So again, when a dutiful Los Angeles police officer named Roger Mortis, really?
Yeah,
Roger Mortis, rigor mortis.
Wordplay!
Roger Mortis, who's Treat Williams, he tries to apprehend robbers that happen to be zombies. He ends up as one of the undead himself. Since Mortis has managed to stay in his right mind, he aids his loudmouth partner, Doug Bigelow, Joe Piscopo, in getting to the bottom of the macabre crime ring. Eventually, the cops track down the villains, including Arthur P. Loudermilk, Vincent Price.
That's right, boys. This movie has everybody you want in this movie.
And they try to end the supernatural thievery. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to dive into this pile of dreck.
We are. But I do want to say, everyone, this is Emmett.
That's Emmett.
He sleeps.
He hangs out with us. He doesn't really do much except for annoy me sometimes.
Yeah. So if you hear snoring, it's not me. And it might be Randy.
Well, sometimes I'm really tired because
he sleeps.
I'm a very important businessman.
Shh, all right.
Very important.
Very, very important man.
But here we go. We're going to get into this bad boy. Stay tuned.
There's definitely something very weird going on here.
Detective Roger Mortis has a problem. He's dead. But Detective Bigelow is bringing him back alive.
We have something on the monitor, Captain.
That's okay. Don't get up. Told you not to get up.
Now, he's got 12 hours to solve the toughest murder case of his career. His own.
What is this thing? Very ugly. Get down! Remember the good old days when guns killed people? That's it. From now on, I'm a vegetarian.
How do you fight this thing? Maybe we could drown it in A1 sauce.
Treat Williams
Sit down.
and Joe Piscopo are dead heat.
You shoot them, they don't die.
You can't keep a good cop dead.
All right, we're back, film fans.
Yeah. Dead heat.
Wow, dead heat, huh?
Yeah.
Dead heat.
Action.
It had action, drama, tits,
Zombie.
zombies. Terrible movie.
11%.
Oh my god.
On Rotten Tomatoes.
Where to even begin with this thing, man? First and foremost,
Scratch your head.
yeah, you gotta step back, and we discovered something as the movie was starting. I'll let you take it from there.
The 80s loved a certain type of weapon. A very nice handheld automatic Uzi.
Well, yeah,
It was in every
it was
80s.
in every '80s movie, but that I was talking about the Shane Black connection.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yes. So, I forgot to mention this to Randy. This movie not only has good old Shane Black, who is an accomplished director, actor, writer.
Lethal Weapon, a little film called Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon,
Yeah.
yes. So much so that this movie is written by, not Shane Black,
Yeah,
but Shane Black's brother, Terry Black.
Terry Black wrote the script, and you know this script, as you're watching the movie, reminds me a lot of Riggs and Murtaugh. I make
Riggs and
several
Murtaugh.
references. You've got Joe Piscopo's character is a lot like Murtaugh, mullet, weirdly dressed.
Weirdly dressed.
And then you've got Treat Williams' character, who's very, so Joe Piscopo is a lot like Riggs, and then, Treat Williams is a lot like Murtaugh. He's in a suit, he's very well dressed, he's very rigid.
Roger Mortis.
Roger Mortis, Roger Murtaugh.
Maybe.
This movie came out after Lethal Weapon, right?
Just a year, yeah.
But the script for this could have been worked on for years.
For years.
I mean, as a writer.
Yeah.
I know that.
As fine writing as this movie.
Yeah. Let me tell you, though, this has Shane Black's stamp all over it. The Black family must be crazy with this.
Yeah.
The way that they do this stuff. One-liners, ridiculous violence. I mean,
ridiculous violence.
Over the top everything. But I guess I should start it off, right?
So what happens at the beginning of this movie?
So the very opening pans across Los Angeles, which looks very good.
Yeah.
I was pretty impressed with the opening shots, all the old buildings from the 80s. Goes into a little getting to know you with our characters, Riggs and Murtaugh. I mean, Joe Piscapo and
Detective Doug Bigelow and Detective Roger Mortis.
So Piscapo's Doug, Treat is Roger. Right? So they, it's a little getting to know you, a little banter back and forth, and they get called out to this robbery that's going on.
Yeah.
And when they get there, this robbery is fucking nuts. It's like within the first 5 minutes, there's half their budget. I'd say $1,000 worth of bullets, probably.
At least. I mean, it's a crazy shootout. Yeah. It's basically the shootout that you should have seen happening.
Yeah.
In Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
Think about it. There was a diamond heist at the beginning of that movie.
Yeah.
You don't see it. You
see
basically see it in this movie.
Yeah, you see this entire heist go down, and then they're just shooting these guys over and over again, and Roger Mortis looks at Joe Piscopo's character Doug at one point, and he goes, "These guys should be dead. We put a bunch of bullets in them. Like, what the hell? What's going on?"
And Bigelow himself says, "It's just a flesh wound."
Yeah, maybe it's just a flesh wound. They've shot these guys like 1,000 times at this point. But anyways, so Roger Mortis hops in his car, does the classic 80s move, and drives right into the bad guys.
Right into them.
And destroys them. All right, so cut to, they're heroes of the day, by the way. They saved everybody.
They did.
Cut back to the station house, and we get the quintessential angry African-American captain
yeah.
who's going, "Y'all better quit fucking up, or I'm going to take your badge."
This is the last time. It reminded me of the scene that it parodied in The Last Action Hero.
Yeah, very much so.
It was that scene.
It was a parody of itself inside of a movie that was supposed to be taken seriously. So he tells them, not to fuck up again. This leads to one of my favorite lines, right? They're leaving the office of the captain after they just got reamed. And there's all these people being booked. And for some reason, there's a lady dressed as a nun.
There are two nuns there.
Yeah, and Joe Piscopo leans in and goes, "Hey, call me on Free Thursday."
Which, why not? It's a nun.
I mean, it cracked me up. I was laughing really hard. So that was cool. So they're walking around, just kind of talking in the station house as to what went down and what was so weird about it. And then they decide to go over to the morgue and talk to Rigor Mortis's old, I'm going to call him Rig the rest of the time.
There you go.
Rigor Mortis's old wife, or fling, or what have you.
We'll say girlfriend, whatever.
Her name is... No, that's not her.
It does not have her.
It doesn't have her in the thing for some reason. Which is weird, because she's in a big part of it. Oh, Rebecca Smithers, maybe? Yeah, Rebecca.
Sure, Rebecca.
They don't have her picture.
That's right. It is Rebecca.
So Rebecca is the girl's name, and they go down there, and they're looking at all these dead bodies, and they're really fucked up looking. This is where this movie will surprise you if you decide to watch it. Dead Heat.
Watch it.
If you decide to watch it, the special effects for the zombies and the corpses are really good.
Really good.
For that time period, they're pretty...
Practical effects.
Pretty fucking impressive. So you see these fucked up dead bodies. The girl's like, "Hey, why'd you kill these guys to try to get to talk to me again?" Total fucking 80s banter. The hard-nosed cop, like, "I don't have a phone, that's why I didn't call you. If you want some of this dick, get a hold of me." Kind of scenario. She's like lovelorn and hurt and scorned. They're going back and forth. This is where we also meet our doctor for the first time. The dad from Christmas Story. Fucking Darren McGavin. Ernest McNabb plays Dr. Ernest McNabb.
McNabb.
Yeah. So he comes in, he does some jokes about dead bodies.
He's the body doc.
Body doc, yeah. So, because he does vivisections and what have you. So, they joke around with him for a minute. He leaves. They decide to go looking. Piscapo's character, Doug, is like, I don't really want to go looking for these guys, but we should maybe figure out what's going on, because they had the lady doctor tells them these guys had been dead before because they had V-sections, and she was the one that did the autopsies on them originally. She couldn't explain it away. So now they're peaked. They're like, hey, we got to go figure this. This is crazy stuff.
Yeah, she did notice that there was a drug in their system.
Yeah, a drug that leads them to this drugstore, which I can't. The name escapes me.
The Dante Labs.
Okay, the Dante Labs.
In reference to an homage.
Dante's Inferno.
No, an homage to Joe Dante, wonderful director of
Gremlins.
Yeah,
that's right, Joe Dante. So they get to Dante Labs because that's where experiments happen. And they go in. This is John Paul, and I noticed this in several movies that we've watched that are schlocky. The bad guy, or the guys that are just terrible people.
This guy's just behind the desk looking at porn.
Yeah.
And we're not talking like, I'm reading a Playboy for the articles. He's looking at a penthouse.
Yeah. And our friends at Last Roundup Horror Show have also noticed this in some of their reviews. Frank has talked about this, where it's just like, if you're a bad guy in the 80s,
you got to look at porn.
I'm too busy looking at tits and
tits
puss.
are important to me.
Tits and puss, that's all I got time for. I don't have time for your nonsense.
So in the remake, you'd grab your phone and they'd be on their phone looking at porn.
They'd be watching Pornhub
on their phones, that's right.
But anyways, this guy's like staring down a penthouse like it's a fucking hamburger and he hadn't eaten in a week. And so,
you forget there's the wonderful line by Joe Piscapo, and he goes, "Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt your hard-on."
Yeah, that was great. He grabs a magazine out of his hand. He's like, "Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt your hard-on, but we need to talk to the head doctor about some shit that went down." So they call the HR lady, the PR lady, who ends up being Randy James.
Randy James.
Now, my name's Randy. My real name's Randy. But this Randy James, it just sounded like a porn name right off the bat. I was like, that's like a fucking porn name.
Played by Lindsay Frost.
Lindsay Frost, who is very pretty in this.
She's an artist now.
Oh, all right.
Look her up.
I need to buy some of her art.
Yeah.
Maybe talk to her about
Dead Heat.
Tickle fights and Dead Heat. Yeah. I don't know. But so they get this lady, Lindsay Frost, who's playing Randy James, to come down, and they start asking her questions about what they literally do at this facility. Like, hey, we had two weirdos that had some drug in their system that's linked to your lab. So she decides to give them the guided tour, as you would do.
Of course.
You wouldn't just tell them, maybe you should get a warrant.
My evil lair.
Yeah, maybe you should get a warrant to come here and talk to me about stuff. Or here's our legal counsel. None of that went down.
No.
Straight up, let me give you a tour of the fucking Gremlins factory we got going on.
That's right.
Here. So she takes them all over, and it's all the nonsense that you would expect at a lab. Oh, we test on animals over here. It's for shit that people doesn't want to talk about, like boner creams and herpes stuff or what have you. Trying to get them out of there. Well, old Detective Rigor Mortis. He goes down the wrong hallway, and he ends up in this fucking little laboratory.
Where they humanely kill animals.
Yeah. So, and he's really pissed off about that off the bat. And what it is this big chamber that sucks air out of the room. Like that's the
that's
thing.
That's how you humanly kill an animal.
Right. So it's at this point where he's talking to her about that, and then Joe Piscapo, his character Doug, goes down another hallway, and he ends up in this room. Well, Roger, Rigor Mortis, and his new girlfriend, they go up front to talk. And we follow Doug, and Doug now has uncovered this giant biker body. It's like two bikers sewn together. Again, really awesome makeup.
Really awesome. It's cool.
It's like a 300-pound fucking hybrid zombie, and he's fighting this thing.
I would say a little more than 300.
Yeah, probably maybe pushing 4.
At least.
4.
It's a big belly.
Big dude. But he's fighting him Joe Piscopo style. And now, just for all of you SNL fans out there, this is the height of Joe Piscopo's fucking
cocaine bender,
cocaine and
steroids.
I'm telling you, he is ripped in this movie. he starts sweating immediately. Like there's a sweat V down his fucking shirt. He's got sweat all over him. He's clearly on. Like when you see him, he takes his jacket off like 10 times in this movie to just do this to show you that that is ripped.
Look at me, Stallone.
But he goes and his fucking his Riggs mullet that he's got. But anyway, he's fighting this biker guy. He finally gets a gunshot off, and it, rigor mortis runs down the hallway. First, he shoots the guy that was reading the porn because the guy pulls a gun on him for some fucking reason out of nowhere. So, anyways, he shoots that guy, runs down the hall, and sees his buddy fighting this fucking giant monster, and he's like, puts some bullets in it, nothing. Gets knocked into the dog kill room.
Yes, the humane dog kill room.
The door's shut, locks down. This is where I don't understand. Obviously,
someone turned on the button.
Somebody turned the button on to suck the air out. So the dude's only got like 60 seconds left of air.
Which is like a 5-minute scene in this movie.
Yeah, so Piscapo keeps hitting the fucking guy with this giant metal
fire extinguisher. Yep.
Finally gets him down on the ground, beats the shit out of him, kills him. But then he drops the fire extinguisher and starts to try to punch the glass out of the thing with his hand.
I'll save my friend with my steroids.
His friend dies, and you get the best Joe Piscapo acting in the movie. Very Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan. Oh! His buddy dies.
Dead. And it's sad.
Dead ski.
I mean, Treat Williams, dead within like 20 minutes of the
20 minutes, dead ski.
It's sad.
Cut to, the doctor lady shows up. What happened? Piscapo tells her, like, hey, I couldn't save him. I don't know. Let me take you to the body. She's looking at him. She's like, I don't understand how this would have even happened. So he tries to tell her. He's like, look, I'll tell you what happened if you don't even believe me. I get it. Takes her into the room where the zombie guy was. He was laying on this, like, electrical... It looked like from Star Wars, the reactor in Empire.
Yeah. Or the reactor from Iron Man.
Yeah. He's like, I think it has something to do with this. She does what I wrote down, a little 80s hacking. Boop, 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 boop. She goes, hey, that's how they're doing this. They're bringing people back from the dead.
Let's bring our friend back.
Puts him on the machine. Schlimmity schlam. Types in some secret codes.
Up, down, left, right, A, B, select, start.
The thing turns on. Electricity flows through old Treat. He hops up. He goes, hey, well, what happened? What are you doing here, Doc? They have to explain it to him. He still doesn't believe he's dead.
Yes. He said, I walked into the light.
Yeah.
And that's all. And then I passed out, apparently.
Yeah. They're like, no, you've got no heartbeat. Here, listen. He starts to finally come to terms with the fact that he is now a living dead person. So...
Rebecca does tell him that his body is going to decompose in like 12 hours.
He's basically got 12 hours to figure out who did this to him and why. So they go back to Randy James's house.
Yeah.
They find her. She's getting ready to leave. They kind of kidnap her.
I would say they kidnapped her. There's no warrant. So
they like push her in her house and tell her she's going to do whatever they tell her. Pretty weird scene altogether. This whole time,
the new set of baddies come in.
Yeah, the new set of bad guys come in, and they're zombies clearly. Oh shit! I forgot one of the other funny parts. Real quick, before they get to her house, he looks in the mirror and sees how white he looks because he looks dead. So they stop at a convenience store and he gets some lipstick to put on his lips. Puts a little lipstick on, to which Joe Piscapo says, where's it at? He says, oh, that shade really brings out your eyes.
You're so pretty.
You're so good looking. They did, some gay humor as they did in the 80s, through the drive. They get to the chick's house and that's the first thing she says is, why are you wearing lipstick?
Why are you wearing lipstick?
And he goes, because I'm dead, bitch, basically. So anyway, so she claims she has no idea what they're talking about, that she's just the PR lady. In her purse, they dump her purse out. She's got this videotape, and he goes, you got a video machine around here?
VHS, boys and girls, what we talked about earlier.
Yeah. puts the videotape in, and it's Vincent Price.
Good old Vincent.
And he's clearly on his deathbed. He starts saying some shit, and that's when
I'm dying.
That's when our new bad guys show up, and they're zombies, and the zombie fight goes on for like 15 minutes.
It was a cool zombie fight. There was a pool,
it was pretty cool.
Pool zombie.
They go out, they finally get out of the house, and they hide out by the pool. The zombies figure out where they're hiding, and so each one's fighting one. Piscapo fights one. He punches the dick off of it.
He did.
I've never seen that in a movie before. He's like on the ground. He's hitting him in the balls, and his
Mortal Kombat style, actually.
He hits him like 5 times, and then it just goes flying. You don't see the dick, but it's no longer there. And he's like, "Oh shit!"
Because it's edited out.
And the fucking zombie picks him up and throws him like through this wall. Our dead detective Rigor Mortis fights his guy in a pool. He finally throws in old style boombox.
He does,
kills
and
that dude.
It shocks him.
Piscapo kills his zombie with a fucking umbrella stand.
Yeah.
And then so now the lady gets it. She's like, "What the fuck is going on?" And they're like, "That's what we're trying to find out." Right?
Yeah.
So they decide to go back to the lab, right?
Back to the lab.
So they go back to the lab. They're looking around. First they see the rest of the video, and it's Vincent Price telling her some shit. Like, "Hey, I'm really sorry, blah blah blah." The whole time they think that she's Vincent Price's daughter
because she told them.
Because she said that. But when they get to the lab and they start really talking and trying to decide where they're going to go next, they decide to go to Vincent Price's old house. No, Chinatown.
Chinatown,
right.
Because somebody says he wants Chinese food.
Right, but they know that this Chinese guy had something to do with Vincent Price's death.
Yeah.
So they go there, and this the actor is Kai Luke.
Kai Luke.
He plays Mr. Thule, and you'll recognize him. He's very young in this movie, but he is...
Grandfather!
He is from Gremlins.
Yes.
He plays the Gremlins the Mogwai first owner.
That's right, the keeper of the Mogwai.
That's right. And then he also, and I believe this to be true, I could be wrong, isn't he the guy from Big Trouble in Little China?
He is the Big Trouble in Little China guy.
So you'll recognize him right away. He's really good. He's good in this, but he's only in it for a few minutes. But they go to, and this is probably the craziest part of this movie. Once they're in there, Mr. Luke, or Mr. What's his name again?
Thulu.
Thulu comes out and he tells them, "Hey,"
for Cthulhu.
He's like, "I ain't telling you shit. You guys could all fuck off," and hits this button. And it's one of those many electrical things that brought the guy back from the dead, hanging from the ceiling. And it brings all the dead poultry to life. And every every dead thing in there. So they're getting attacked by zombie ducks, zombie pigs, and then leads up to the
chickens,
eggs, yeah. Then leads up to the zombie half a rack of ribs that is killing Joe Piscopo at one point, or Treat.
Yeah,
Joe Piscopo takes a meat hook and pulls it off and empties an entire clip into this thing. Doesn't do anything because it's not.
It's dead.
Yeah,
it doesn't have any organs.
The rules in this movie don't make any sense.
None at all.
I want you to know right away, because why would it be? What would it be attacking? It's meat. It's already been cut and butchered.
It's like what Rocky punched.
Yeah, it really is. It's weird. So finally, they realize that the machine is what's causing it. So they shoot the machine off, and everything goes back to normal. And the two Asian guys have taken off. They're gone. In the little office area of this place, they find a pegboard with this weird duck head on it, and Joe Piscopo's flipping it on and off, and its head's moving around. Affleck. It was pretty funny, but they find these groups of numbers and this chart, and it's days of death. So the guy that's supposedly the lady's dad, Vincent Price, his date of death's on there. So they decide to go to the library and see if the rest of the dates of death match the dates on the list for the people that are.
So they go to a library to discover things like obituaries, children.
Yeah, they couldn't just Google it because it's the 80s.
You have to go to the library and get the paper.
This is where Joe Piscopo also has a very funny line because he goes, "Hey, it's a library. I've never been in one of these. Are they nice?
Are they nice?
Huh?" Very funny. Stellar writing. So anyways, they go...
Shane Black Brothers, amazing.
Yeah.
Terry Black!
Terry Black, he's a writer. So they're going through this shit in the library. They figure out that all the dates of death match. So now they're like, hey, we're going to go our separate ways. Joe Piscapo's like, hey, I got to go do some shit. The girl and Treat Williams, rigor mortis, they decide to take off to this creepy crypt.
To uncover Vincent Price's body.
To see if he's dead or alive. At this point, we don't know. Dead heat. It's a dead heat.
It's dead heat.
So they get there, and they're looking around. They go inside this place. He's nowhere to be found, but they find this group of numbers that Thule had used, right?
Yes.
And so now rigor mortis is putting two and two together. He's like, look, bitch, I don't think you're this guy's daughter. You don't know shit about shit. Tell me the truth. And she goes, all right, the truth is this. I'm not his daughter. I met him in the hospital when I was doing some drug stuff.
I'm a drug addict.
They, have a little lingering talk or whatever. Then they go back to her place. Do you think this is where they're going to get it on?
You think?
Then they go in the bathroom and she's getting naked to get in the shower. Turns out she's like, hey, I lied to you. Her hand starts to decompose. She's been dead the whole time. Twist! Her face starts to melt, which I still probably would have fucked her. But anyways, her whole body melts. Her head falls off. To this really cool, again, this practical effects were pretty good in this. The skin,
stop motion.
The skin's rolling off her face, and she's like, sorry, I lied, blah, blah,
blah, blah.
So now she's out of the picture. So now he's on his own. So he has to go now and figure out the rest of this. So he decides to go track down Thule one more time. He gets to this house. Joe Piscopo's dead.
He's dead.
He's upside down in this fish tank.
He went fishing, yeah.
And the house that they ended up at was Rebecca's house, because now he's figuring that the doctor that we know had something to do with it, because the code matched the doctor's numbers, Darren McGavin's numbers.
Personal license
plate stuff.
Body doc.
So that was the supposed last message, body doc.
Twist.
So the body doc's there, Darren McGavin. He gives his whole master plan. He's like, yeah, I'm working with some people, and we're reanimating corpses for a price. The dead I know some shit, and some of you that I don't give a fuck about, you'll just be my henchmen and die. And people that pay me enough money, I know how to do it, so they can live forever and be immortal. They put him in the back of this fucking ambulance, and he's handcuffed in. He looks, his girlfriend's dead, the Rebecca girl.
It's sad.
It's kind of sad, because I actually liked her. So he's like, you know what? I'm not going out like this. He pulls a little skin off his hand, gets a little loose, kicks the ambulance into neutral, and it starts to go down this giant hill, and it slams into all these cars and explodes. Real police show up.
Real police.
To secure the scene.
But who's one of the patrolmen?
Well, I'm getting there.
Okay.
We'll get to this body bag that all of a sudden just unzips and gets out, and now we've got a Terminator half burned up.
Treat
Williams. His face is falling
Rigor
off.
mortis.
Rigor mortis himself. He walks over to the first cop he sees, and the cop pulls his gun and is like, hey, you, you better stop.
He pulls out his badge and says,
he's like,
I'm a detective.
I'm going to need your gun, officer. And the kid's like, all right. And we see the kid, and who is he?
It's Shane Black.
Shane Black. This whole time, this guy, Lunchbox over here, is going, tell him the pussy joke.
Tell him the pussy joke.
If you don't get that reference, and
Google
that's
it.
sad, and you're not my friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Anywho, back to the story. Kid gives him his gun, as you would do as an undead detective. Says, hey, give me your gun. He gets on the kid's motorcycle and takes off in the longest tracking shot I've ever seen in a horror
It
movie.
reminded me, though, with the music playing and just the way he was half dying, it reminded me of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5 when Daniel had the motorcycles.
Yeah.
And turned it almost into a Ghost Rider thing.
But this was like super far away. Though.
It was.
In this movie, we watched the motorcycle drive off, and you're like, when are they going to go to the next scene?
No, it just keeps going.
It just keeps going. Oh, he's a little dot now.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So then Now you know shit's about to pop off. We cut back. We see the body doc, Darren McGavin, talking to a sinister group of people in that room that we saw at the beginning of the movie.
And he says, "You'll shoot your eye out."
Yeah,
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't say that. But he should.
He should.
But all these old people are there, and they're like, the super wealthy of Los Angeles. And they're like, "Why are we here? We got this anonymous letter about immortality, blah, blah, blah." All of a sudden, Vincent Price shows up.
He's not dead!
He's not dead. Finally, twist. We finally get to see him. And he's the best actor in this whole fucking movie. He's in it for 5 minutes.
It's pretty amazing.
He gives this amazing speech about immortality and how to live forever. Realizes people won't believe him, so he's got this dead body on the machine. He's like, "All right, everybody take a look, make sure it's dead." We don't see the
dead body.
We don't see the dead body, but they're like convinced he's dead. All of a sudden, our fucking Terminator shows up. He starts murdering people left and right.
With an Uzi.
Gets an Uzi. Pulls that shit out from another guy that he killed.
Yeah.
Then he shoots this guy into the fucking air pressure room, throws a grenade in, shoots the grenade, and shuts the door.
Hey, yeah. It's called the double tap for a reason.
Fantastic. Cool, really cool. Blows up behind him. Kicks the door in, and he like zombie lumbers in to all these rich people. I'm like, "Who's that?" And he's like, like just long pause, and then Vincent Price is like leering and like goes back behind the shadows.
I didn't do anything.
I didn't do anything. Kill him.
Kill him.
So, turns out they had done a test of the machine, and the zombie that's on the machine he's like Darren McGavin, Dr. whatever the fuck. He's like, "Hey,
Ernest McNabb."
He's like, "Hey, I brought a guy to kill you. You can't kill me." He pulls it back. Guess who it is?
Oh shit, who is it?
It's Doug.
Oh shit, it's a twist!
Joe Piscapo. Zombie now. They're fighting for a minute. This is the weirdest part of the movie, though. If you think what I've said already is weird, where do you hear this? He picks up his buddy. He's looking him right in the eye, and his buddy ekes out, "Remember, I had the lipstick on?
I had the lipstick.
It popped, made my eyes pop." That's what he says to bring him back. As Joe Piscopo's like, "Oh yeah, you're my buddy. I'm sorry, you're Roger. So, I'm also a zombie now, though. Let's kill these fucks."
and they murder everyone.
They kill everybody.
But Darren McGavin.
Yeah, well, they get to Darren McGavin to kill him, and he goes, "Oh, you guys aren't killing me," and he shoots himself in the face, which was awesome. Then Rigor Mortis is like, "Hey, fuck that shit.
That's my kill.
This guy screwed me out of killing him." So they put him on the death machine to bring him back to kill him one more time. They blow him up too, which is fantastic.
They overdo his death.
Yeah, they overdo his death on purpose.
Or revival, or whatever you want to call it.
So he explodes into chunks. Vincent Price, they overload the machine. They're walking out the door. Vincent Price goes, "I'll give you whatever you want. Just save the machine."
Save the machine!
They turn around and unload all the rest of their bullets into the machine. It explodes. And they walk out. At the very end, 80s music comes on.
And they're walking into the
big
bright light.
A big bright light. And they're like, it says, "Hey, do you think that," Piscapo goes, "do you think we'll get to come back as something else?" And he's like, I don't know if I believe in reincarnation." And Piscapo ends the movie with, "I'd like to come back. I think I'd like to come back as a lady's bicycle seat."
And that's how
the movie ends. Bravo!
Yeah, so...
What? Okay,
so... thoughts?
Pile of shit. Entertaining.
It had action!
Entertaining pile of shit.
It had action,
but
comedy...
pile of shit nonetheless.
Horror, I mean...
It borrowed... It took from so many other things. This is the...
How do you not know that other things didn't take from this?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure Dead Heat is cited as a lot of new age filmmakers.
Hey, Shane Black and his brother know how to make movies.
That's to be debated. Iron Man 3 sucks balls.
Predators, great movie. Just kidding. Kidding. It was terrible. It was terrible.
I will give him the Lethal Weapon franchise.
The Predator. I'm sorry. It was called The Predator.
Fucking terrible. But this, overall, though, I was super entertained. I laughed through a lot of this.
You did. You enjoyed it.
Just so many random 80s shout-outs that are pretty great.
Yeah.
I know where the budget went to special effects and getting some of these actors, because Robert Picardo, who is, just look him up. He's been in everything.
And he's in this movie for about 5 minutes, wearing the worst mustache ever.
Still, in his scene, best actor.
Yeah.
You know? But it was really good. Really fun. Side note, kids, if you'd like to, Google Treat Williams 2019. And
oh, you don't want to do that.
His face is all bloated. He's got some herp lip going on. I don't know.
Herp lip?
I don't know exactly how. Like, his lips are so chapped that they're, like, gone now.
Now Google Joe Piscapo 2019 as well.
Yeah. About equal.
We don't even know if he's still alive or dead.
But as
Tweet
I gotta
us.
say
Let us
this,
know.
on the SchlockFest meter, this is for me the high end. I enjoyed this movie.
This is on the high end.
High end.
So I didn't torture you.
I wasn't tortured.
Okay.
I enjoyed.
So
it.
I'm not doing my job. You wait till next month.
I'd say you fucked up on this one.
You wait till next
The
month.
apple made me hate life. Made me hate life.
You still love the apple. The song is now going to be in your head.
Yeah.
Hey, Bim today.
But this I enjoyed.
Yeah, see, you're right. This you enjoyed. I'm going to have to find another goodie. So, any suggestions on how to torture Randy?
Yeah, suggestions, comments, queries, questions.
Yes, ask us
Drop
all
them
kinds
in
of things.
the comment section below. Find all of our other stuff at ZombieTakeOver TV, at the Podbean podcast.
Ooh, Podbean.
Yeah,
we're also on Spotify.
Spotify, yeah, as well. Also wherever you get your podcasts, we're there.
We're there.
We're
Find
like
us.
we're like
We're like the herp.
we're like
You'll find us anywhere.
Yeah, we're around. We're the herp,
The herp podcast.
the herp podcast. Just when you think that we're not there, stress gets you, and we're back.
And we're back. Hey,
Hey,
Misa back.
meet the back. Yeah. Any final thoughts?
I really enjoyed this movie. I vaguely remember renting it when it came out, because my older brother actually saw this in the theaters.
Oh wow!
And I remember him saying, "You need to watch this movie," and then we went to try to watch it like a couple weeks after, and it was not in the theaters anymore.
Yeah, because it's terrible.
It still made money.
Yeah, it didn't make
Hey,
any
3.5
money.
mil.
It didn't make its budget back. That's not making money.
No, it didn't make its budget back.
Yeah.
Because its budget was 5 mil.
Yeah.
It came close.
This is why nobody talks this movie.
It's still, hey,
It's not good.
I did find out it is on Blu-ray. Amazon right now has it for $12.
Holy shit! That's $11.99 too much.
That means somebody out there wanted to make this movie possible on Blu-ray.
I'm telling you, kids, give it a shot. Give it a spin.
Yeah.
It's a fun watch.
It is a fun.
but
It's action comedy.
Don't spend $12 on it.
You could probably... No, it wouldn't be on any streaming services.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't pay for any streaming services. Look, if you got one. But do what I do and just pull it from the interwebs.
The magic webs.
Yeah. Just get out your pirate hooks, as a good friend of mine used to say, and just hook it.
Hook it.
Oh, there it
Hook,
is.
line, and sinker.
Where is it?
See,
It's just out there.
If you like buddy cop movies, this is a good one.
That's what I'm telling you. Is I'm pretty sure this was ripped. Like they'd been working on the script, and we all know Shane Black worked on Lethal Weapon for years, so this had a lot of that in it. So.
I will suggest, if you want a better version of this movie, you know what I'm thinking?
What?
The Hidden.
Oh, okay.
That also came out a year before this movie.
but that's neither here nor there.
Yes.
Thank you again for listening. What do we got to torture me with next time?
I don't know yet. I've got to go back to the well and think of really worse than this, because this didn't torture you.
Yet again, we will take suggestions. I've been Ray McGuff.
And this is Jean Paul Mantilla, and that's Emmett.
And that's Emmett.
Raising
Look
to
at
the
that guy,
occasion.
raising the roof.
Yeah.
But we've thank you so much for listening and tuning in and watching, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Peace.